Mike Barrelak here to entertain you with the help of Alliota Haynes and Jeremiah.
We're running south on Lakeshore Drive, getting into town.
That Chicago CD I was listening to on the way to work today. I wanted to get one out there. It's going to be a kind of a movie review. I want to get back into watching movies because, frankly, I need the escapism. I've been going nuts without the escapism. But I wanted to start with a quick rant over some comments on some videos I made and some comments I made on a comment on a video from Legal Eagle. Well, you could. Somebody asked the question why, or they wish that Legal Eagle dude would do a in-depth video about the trial with the big one that just happened a week ago. Anyways, and I commented, he won't do that because it'll only negatively impact his viewership. Because he's very left-leaning. He doesn't shy away from the fact that he hates Trump. As a matter of fact, the person accused me of being a pillow-hugging Trump lover, whatever the hell that is. It ain't about loving or hating Trump. It's about loving or hating the country. And unfortunately, too many leftists have been brainwashed to hate the country, whether they know it or not. They've been indoctrinated. And also, wanted to address that, and also another comment on a video I made talking about how part of the Green New Deal is trying to get people to eat less red meat because it's eating more soy-based protein is somehow going to help the environment. BS, like leftist BS like that. It's some study in Michigan University. Anyways, but it would make sense that leftists would want us to eat less meat. And more, because when you eat adequate meat, you are less susceptible to indulging in excesses of like sugar and salt and soy. Because if you take away the excessive sugar, salt, and soy, the thing that the FDA wants people to consume, so the FDA gets more money. The FDA don't care about our health. They want more money. The FDA is a business, and they're in the business of selling food and drugs. And they don't like when people promote eat less this, eat less that. And when you consume an adequate amount of meat, it becomes easier to not consume in excess things like salt, sugar. And I theorize, because I'm not a smoker or a drinker. I never was addicted to nicotine. I never was an alcoholic. But I theorize that the same thing would apply to people who are alcoholics or consume too much caffeine. If they would consume more meat, if their diet was more meat-based, they would find it less and less difficult to yield to the temptation of nicotine or alcohol. That's just my theory. Yeah, my addiction is sugar and salt, obviously. This is why I haven't talked about this yet on my channel, but I have to stay away from my father. I didn't think it would bother me, but obviously it does. When we were kids, he used to blame me and my sisters that he was getting gray hair. It was somehow me and my sister's fault when we were little kids that he was getting gray hair. Well, guess what, Dad? I got to stay the hell away from you because you're making me fat. I told people and I told myself it didn't bother me, but I'm human. I guess it does bother me. I need to stay away from my father. Just being around him reminded me what a pathetic loser he is, what a male feminist he is, and how he has never amounted to nothing and will never amount to nothing. Like George Floyd. That loser. Yeah, so the left wants you to eat less meat for the sake of the Holy Green New Deal and the Holy Reset. BS. But as usual, the people commenting on my comments and on my stuff, they don't have any original content on their channel. As usual. You call me an incel. They're not even out there. They're not even in the public eye. Mr. Trekkie, if you're watching this, I just commented on your comment. I guess when you believe that you don't need God because you have government, what dumbfounded loony leftist logic that is. So the person was accusing me of stay off the roads. They told me stay off the roads because I'm the government's wiping my nose by my driving on the government's roads. Well, these roads the government's hire private contractors, yeah, to fix these roads. Have you seen the roads where the government is totally responsible for? Just look at Democrat-run cities. Yeah, private contractors, small businesses, the very thing leftist-leaning Democratic Party has been spending the last year destroying. Small businesses. A real human being, a real man, does not want the government in his life. The government is to be there if there's trouble, and then be somewhere else all the rest of the flunking time. But no, these leftist little college kids, these little pansies, they gotta have their government subsidies. You're talking to a guy whose whole family, except for him, whose whole immediate family, are wards of the damn state. So flunk you, Mr. Trekkie. Telling me I wouldn't survive on a system where the government wasn't there at all. Flunk you, Mr. Trekkie. It's not about loving or hating Trump. It's about loving or hating the country. And a lot of you pathetic leftists are programmed to do just that, hate the country. Now maybe this guy idolizes this Legal Eagle YouTuber. Okay, fine. I was a child. I idolized people once. I'd already said on a video, I idolized Mark Harmon when I was a little kid, and Scott Bakula when I was got a little bit older. But actually, no, I didn't really idolize the actors. I idolized the characters they played in the shows I watched more than anything else. So that was kind of a little non-accurate. I'll put it this way, I didn't even know Mark Harmon was married to Pam Dawson or whatever. Mindy from Mork and Mindy. I didn't even know that till about a year or so ago. That's how much I concern myself with the private lives of people I idolized in childhood. But I really got to say, these leftists really must have some sort of self-love-hate, self-loathing thing going on. They hate the country, yet they vote in a way that gives the government more power over their lives. Is that not the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Hate government, hate the country, the country's so racist, the country, but they want to give more power to the government. What the flunk sense does that make? To Mr. Trekkie? My deceased aunt was a Trekkie. So I ain't bad-mouthing any Trekkies. Matter of fact, I recently watched a little meet and greet thing with Scott Bakula when he was talking about that show he was on, Enterprise. It honestly made me wish I had time to become a Trekkie. Unfortunately, I got to work for a living. I have other interests too that don't involve that. So, never a dull moment, as my grandfather used to say. But all right, so there goes my rant. Oh boy, a little long, but so I started watching. I started watching movies again. I watched a movie last night called Femme Fatale from 2003. What was it? Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma. That Rebecca Romijn-Stamos. She used to be married to John Stamos. She's in it. Anyways, my reflection of it. It was the first movie I've actually sat down and watched in a long time, and God, it was like a. Sometimes you just gotta watch a dumb movie just to give your brain a chance to retreat. But the movie to me is a play on the female desire to be bad and have somebody else pay the bills and take the blame, and then when that becomes a bore, have the world play along with the belief that they never were bad. Kind of the ultimate female fantasy, I guess. I had to laugh on the little silly behind the scenes after the movie when the Rebecca actress correlates having, quote, having balls with being bad, as if being bad is a strictly masculine trait. The film is also aimed at both an American and French audience. That's why the visual art was a little over the top for my personal taste in movies, but if you're into that thing, and that Antonio Banderas, yeah. As soon as I saw that name, I thought, yeah, that was a name we heard a lot in the 90s, so he probably was a pretty well-established actor. But I had to say, up until the spoiler alert, the end of the dream sequence, I wanted this character, the Rebecca's character, I wanted her to die. Here she is, just using the system and men, using the system and men that are doing all to give her a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh chance, just to stab him in the back. I was mildly amused at how the Antonio Banderas character. How did he not know they had sex? How did he not know that shiner on her eye was makeup? What the hell? Anyways, last point I just want to make. There was a difference in the trailer for the American audience versus the French one. The French trailer had very little dialogue. It was more just flashy colors, but that's the distinct difference between a European movie audience and an American audience, movie-going audience. The European audience likes the visual aspect of movies more than the dialogue aspect, the storytelling, whereas an American audience really is keen on that. They want to see a story being told. But Oh, and also, too, the French trailer had nipples in it. I don't think the American one did. And had a woman's naked nipples in it. All right, well, I guess I should end this one. Yeah, it's over 15 minutes, so I'll just end with a joke. Those are always fun. So, I've accepted the reality that I'll never be on that show, Who Wants to Marry a Millionaire? But there's still a chance. There's still a chance I might one day get on that less popular show. Now, that less popular show, Who Wants to Be Fondled by a 13,000-aire under the hatchback of a Pinto? Mike Barrelak, thank you for your time.